Hello my crafty friends, it's Terry from Veegstez Creates. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. So today is my monthly unboxing of the Tonic Craft Kits, and I can't believe it's actually the 50th craft kit. So I only started my YouTube channel at the start of 2021, and I think I've been doing these videos monthly, and I think it was either number 39 or 40 that was my first video. So this is like either the 10th or 11th unboxing video I've done, and I usually do at least one follow-up video as well with more inspiration for you. So yeah, it's kind of quite a big milestone for me. But yeah, so this month's craft kit, it's called Give It a Twirl, and that is because it's about using dies like this to create paper flowers. So some of you, I know I've got a really wide range of viewers on my channel, and lots of you will have experience of using dies like this to create paper flowers, and it might be part of your style that you add lots of embellishments and like paper flowers and things to your makes. My style isn't really like that. I don't tend to add like bulky embellishments. I tend to use just things like sequins or nouveau drops or something. So this is going to be a really interesting one for me, because obviously I want to demonstrate it fully for you and also myself. So this is another reason why I love the Tonic Craft Kits, because it gets you to try things. Like if they were selling this as a set just on its own, I probably wouldn't buy it. But because it's part of the monthly craft kits, and I just love the craft kits and how much you get in them and the value and everything, it's just a really nice opportunity to try something new. So you can see as well with the stamps, like, so often usually these are like sentiment stamps, but you can see they've given us some really nice florals. And again, my regulars will know that I love colouring, and florals again is one of the things I love colouring. So I'm definitely going to be using these on a card. We've got a little thing which tells us about upcoming releases. That one's already launched, which looks gorgeous. I haven't got it, but if you have, let me know, because that does look stunning, to be honest. And they're bringing out a ribbon rosette die, so that's something cool to look forward to. So looking at the dies, you can see we've got two of the like traditional type of, because I have seen these around obviously, and I have got like one, I think, or two in my stash that I've got from when people have been doing a D-stash, and I bought a bundle. So these are like the traditional way that you would do a flower, and then these are like a different type, and they're basically the same, but one's bigger than the other, and these little bits are like for the stamens. And then you've got this gorgeous large die, which is around 6 inches square. So straight away my brain is going, okay, you can make a shaped 6 by 6 inch card with that. So that's definitely going to be one of my makes. This, oh my God, that is absolutely gorgeous. It's this really intricate, like viney floral type die, and then it's got these little round spots here, which I think is where you place the flowers, which can either be like flowers that you've coloured. So for example, you could colour that, chop it off and then stick it there, or use some of the flowers made using the twirling, give it a twirl method. And then this gorgeous sentiment in the middle, which I am terrible at reading the the sentiments when they're in the dies, but we shall find out what that says at some point. So that's the dies and the stamps. So let's have a quick look at the colour palette that we're going to be working with. Oh, there we go. So looking on the back of the handy guide that they give us, we've got inspiration already. Enjoy the little things is what the sentiment says, which I just think is wonderful, because that's something that I really hand on heart believe in. And it's also given some examples of, I really like this. Yeah, that was one of the things I was thinking of doing, is creating a vine border all around the edge, and you can see the kinds of flowers that you can create with the different dyes. So this is going to be really exciting, and you can see that the colour palette is blue, green and red. So we've got some gorgeous dark blue pearlescent cards. We've got some navy Craft Perfect, the regular one. We've got 2 sheets of patterned paper. So it's like an ombre effect pattern paper. So it goes from dark to light with the ombre. We've got 2 sheets of double-sided patterned paper, which again, so this is like the second time now that we've had paper in our kit. So it looks like Tonic might be starting to do like A4 patterned paper, which they hadn't used to do before. Oh, that's one of my favourite colours. I love that colour of green, and another really nice green. And then we've got a lovely red, a lovely holographic high gloss red mirror card, a pearlescent red mirror card, and this beautiful blue handmade cotton card, which I've got this in all different colours, and that's just so lovely to work with. So yeah, so we've got reds, blues and greens, and then also some of the patterned papers. So we've got a really generous supply of papers to be using this month. So let's have a look at the Nuvo products next and see what we get in there. Okie dokie, so we have a full-size bottle of Nuvo drops, the Dries Clear Morning Dew. So this is the completely clear one, and I don't actually think I've got this one. I've got so many Nuvo drops, but I don't think I've got this one, so that's awesome. We've got a crafter's quilling tool, which is double-ended, so obviously will give you, I'm imagining that end gives you a bigger flower, and that one is like a smaller one because it's tighter. So that's fab. We've got a little ink pad in rich rosewood, which let's find a little bit of paper so I can show you what colour that is. Oh, that's nice. So that's like a rich sort of claret or blood red kind of thing. That's gorgeous. We've got 3 of the newly rebranded Nuvo alcohol markers. So we've got Black Cherry, French Navy and Desert Sage. So they tie in perfectly with, obviously, with the colours of the cards. And then we've got these gorgeous little embellishments which are like raised and then have a flat back. So they'll be really nice for embellishments, and also I think for the centre of the flowers. So that's really nice. I like things like that, and I love that AB finish where it sort of reflects the light and the colours around it. And then we've got a tester pot of Nuvo Glacier paste in, it's going to be quite hard to read, so I'm going to get my crib sheet. Glacier paste in Iron Frost. So yeah, it's like a dark blue, but you can see all the mica, all the shimmer, because the the glacier paste, sorry, are really just packed full of lovely shiny silver mica. So that's all really exciting. So I've already got 2 cards in mind. So one using this, and I'll be using these. I do actually have the complete set. I invested in the complete set of the Nuvo pens, so I might add in a couple of colours, like either darker or lighter than these, just to add a bit more texture to the flowers. I definitely want to do a make using this die, and make a shaped card. And I also just want to show you how to make these flowers as well, all of these 4 flowers. So I'm going to go ahead off camera, make some of these flowers, so I can then come back to you and show you what the flowers look like, and then show you how to make the flowers. So I shall see you back in a moment. Okay, so here we go. So I used the largest end on all of these flowers. So this one is made using this. So as you can see, the it's sort of like pointy edges on the outside, and then I just added a spot of glue there, and you can see that it hasn't fully dried yet, and I just curved these out a little bit with my fingers. It's quite small, obviously it fits on the end of my fingertip. The next one is like a different style. It's so again, I just adhered it with a spot of glue, and that is this one. So the one with the more pointy leaves in the middle. Because you start from the outside, it's like these are actually the outside leaves here. So that's that one, so it's slightly bigger. And then these ones, so this one is this one, which again, I think I chopped the bottom of the little circle off, so it's only half adhered, but it's still adhered. And then at this point I realised, okay, so on all of my flowers it's showing the non-textured side. So I realised that I'd actually probably been doing it the wrong way round. I mean, it still looks lovely, it's just that you're not seeing the textured side. So there's nothing wrong with that. If you can choose obviously whatever you want. And I think probably what I'm going to do is go in and add some interest, like in the centre with the black cherry, just to show a bit of darkness in the centre. You could also add some of that fake pollen stuff that that Tonic do to the little stamens in the middle. And then this one is made with the largest die. And what I did with this one, you'll see it looks a bit different. So this time I used, so I've bought, because I knew what this kit was, I bought myself this kit from Tonic. So it's the shaping floral dies kit, and it's got the really nice tweezers in there as well, and like different size ball tools for shaping the leaves. So I'll show you how to do that. And this side, obviously you can see that the textured side is poking out. There is a gap here, and I wasn't able to sort of move the petals around, but that's no problem, because what I went ahead and did was cut a little strip, so we don't need that bit. Cut another little strip so I can infill some petals there and just make it a bit fuller. So I'll show you that in a minute. So I thought, first of all, I'll show you how I did this one, but this time we'll do it shaped. So I picked out this, which is one of the smaller ball tools, and it comes with this like foam pad, and basically you just sort of gently, I mean, you might know this already if you're you know, you incorporate florals into your crafts, but you know, if not, you're learning along with me, because say this is something I've made. Some faux flowers once, I've made 2, but you know, it's not something that I've got a vast amount of experience in, so you know, sometimes it's just good to have the opportunity to learn these things. So you basically just sort of move the ball tool around and it shapes the leaves for you. You could also do it on the reverse. So what I was doing initially to get the flat side was turning, so putting the, and for all of them I used the fat end. So for all of them I was putting it in and turning it this way, so with the patterned edge towards me. So then once it's done, the top flowers are then like that. But obviously what we want to do, if you want the textured side on top, is to turn it the other way around. And what I was also doing on the last two was just adding a little bead of glue at certain points along it. I don't know if you meant to do this, but I was just thinking, well, obviously we've got that big tab at the end which holds everything together, but I don't see that it would hurt to put a bit of a blob of glue going along to just hold it in place as we're going along. So, and that seems to have worked well. So I think that's just like an optional extra thing that you might want to try if you're finding that they're not sticking together or they're sort of coming apart. But you can see now, like when we open up the petals, that obviously they're this way. So if I think with this one, I shaped the back so that they're that way, but this way I've done it so that they're pointing upwards. So there's a lot of flexibility with this. It's yeah, it's definitely not, you know, it's definitely something you can experiment with to get different effects and to find the effect that you personally like and want. And obviously you can add extra petals, extra little rolls on to make fuller flowers. So this is just using the one layer, but there's nothing to stop you adding extra layers. So this is the point where you gently remove the tool and then add a generous blob. In fact, I'm gonna go for it and just blob loads in there because it dries clear anyway. But all of mine have stuck down, none of them have come apart. So you just need to sort of hold it for a few seconds until it's grabbed on. And then you can start doing your fussing and making the petals the way that you want them to go. So I want my petals to be coming out like this. Oops, so I'm going to hold this a little bit longer. Yeah, see, if this one, the petals seem to be arranged better in this one. They're overlapping a bit on this, so I think this one I would make it fuller. I'll put another few of these around. So I'll leave that to fully adhere and then we'll work on adding some more petals to this one. So I'm going to shape the back of these like I did with the original one. Really easy. And then I'm just going to add a bead of glue along here. So I'm just wrapping them around. It's a bit fiddly, but I think it'll be worth it. Nice big blob of glue. And then that can then go onto the bottom. Yeah, as you can see, it's much fuller, and there's no areas where there aren't any petals poking through, so I'm happy with that. So there we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and work on my cards. So I'll see you in a moment with 2 completed cards. Okay, so I'm back with some completed cards. So we've got this one, which is American size A2, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. So what I did with this one was I stamped the largest floral, and I then also stamped this separate floral head and this leaf, and then I just drew with an archival ink pen to join that onto the main stem to make a nice like cluster of florals. Then I cut the gorgeous intricate die and used that around the edge. I just had to trim a little bit off there. And the little paper flowers that I showed you during the how to make the little paper flower section, I decided to use them on this card in those little round spaces, which I said would be a nice place to put flowers. It's also a lovely place to put the gems, to be honest. So that's what I've done on that one. And I also, if I hold it up to the light, you can see the shine. I used the clear Nouveau drops and just added a big blob into each of these, and then just used a pin, just a pin head to sort of like move the drops around so that they went right up to the edge of the yellow. As I said, because I love my colouring with alcohol markers, and I've got the full set of the Nouveau alcohol markers, I did use a couple of other colours. So I just picked out one extra colour green to go with the sage green they had included, and I actually used 3 other reds. That's just me. It's because colouring's like one of my main things. You know, and like I just wanted to give them lots of like depth and stuff, but you don't need to do that. You could just use one and then just use like a pencil crayon or something like that if you haven't got the complete set. But yeah, they're quite nice to use actually. I'm getting more used to using them now. They lay down the ink really well and they blend really well, so I really like that card. I think it's really cute. Again, there were no sentiments included in the kit, but I think this would be suitable for so many occasions. And a lovely little sentiment strip can just be popped at the bottom there. So I've left that sentiment free, so that, yeah, it'll just be another one for my stash, that next time someone says, oh, have you got a birthday card, or I want to send a card to my friend, I can then just quickly whop a sentiment on there and give that to them. So that's the one. And then the next one that I've made, I've used the other 3 florals. So this one is quite blingy and not my usual style at all. As I mentioned earlier, I generally don't, I would never add big embellishments onto a card, but I made the flowers and I just think they look really lovely. And I've used the gems in the centre of all of them, and just added a bit of added interest using the red pen included in the kit. And I actually quite like it. So again, it's just another example. It's lovely to just try different things. I originally was going to use one of the patterned papers on the front, but so this card's gone through a bit of a process. So basically I wanted to use the lovely high gloss mirror card for the sentiment, and I wanted to incorporate the blue, and obviously this is the one that I wanted to use the green all the way around. So originally this background was white, and then I thought I really want to use the glacier paste included, so I just used my finger and I spread it, and I ended up, I was originally only going to do it around the outside edges, but I ended up getting it more into the middle, so I thought, oh, I'll just go with it and put it everywhere. Then it was too dark for my liking, so I got the winter white glacier paste, a little bit on my table, on my glass mat, sprayed a few squirts of water on, mixed it with the paintbrush, and then splattered it on. So I left that to dry overnight, so that's what you can see, all the like really shiny splodges. And then I'd cut these out of the green card, and then I cut out, so I've done the same as what I did with the sentiment. I've cut it out again with the 300 GSM white card to give it a bit of a drop shadow, because the green on top of the blue and the red on top of the blue just didn't give enough contrast. So just having that teeny tiny little bit of a white border just gives it, it just lifts it a bit and gives it a bit more dimension. And then I've added the 3 flowers in a cluster down here, and then just filled in the open spots with more of the lovely gems. So I did make this a shaped card, so I used that large die, And yeah, so originally, before having the front white, I was going to use the reverse of this, which is the red falling leaves, but I just thought that was too busy, so I just used the back and stuck it on the back, because obviously, because I'd put the whole card through my die cutting machine, and you know, they're good quality, quite thick cards, it was messy on the back. It had all the cut lines, so I added that onto the back so it looks nice. And I've also I cut an extra white mats and stuck that on, which is then what I applied the blue glacier paste to. So it's quite sturdy. You're not going to be able to put that into the post. That's going to be one of the things that you'd put in a box, or you'd put in a bubble wrap envelope so as not to squish the cards. But Tonic do these awesome things. These are acetate boxes, and I've recently because I made a dream catcher, and like my mum really likes dream catchers, so I've used one of these boxes to put the dream catcher in. And so this is the kind of thing, like, you could put that in there because it's got quite a nice bit of height, so you're not going to crush the flowers. So yeah, so that's my 2 makes for this video. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please use your thumbs and give it a thumbs up. And any questions or anything, any comments, feel free to leave them below for me, and I'll always get back to you. And happy crafting, and I'll see and speak to you soon with some more crafty goodness. Bye for now.